Y'all know who it is. AnitaN The Biz Coach coming back to you, letting you know what's going on when it comes to recent grants, things you need to be concerned about, and what to do and put in those grant applications that you need. As you can see, I am sporting yet another wonderful pair of eyewear and everything else that goes with it, right? So you guys know how I love to sport my different eyewear, but we know I can't see. So I have to bring that off so that I can accomplish this task that is before me today. Trying to figure out where my camera at. Okay, there it is. Okay, so you all know if you've been listening this week and last week, I've been talking about the history section of your narrative when it comes to your grant or your proposal that you submit for funding. Now, another important thing that you want to cover are your accomplishments. What have you accomplished in the short time or over the time frame that you've been established as a nonprofit or a business? So one of the things that you can include and would really look good in that section would be talking about any success stories of any of your recipients. So anyone that has been involved in your program or your project or whatever it is that you're doing to change your community, solve a problem or issue that may exist. So who have you benefited? Who has benefited from your services and your products? So you need to let them know that in your history section. All right. What are some of those people? Find out, get some success stories, videotape them, interview them. Be creative when you're doing this, all right? Nothing wrong with creativity. And you can, there's multiple uses for that. You can put it on your website, your social media accounts. It's endless to the things that you can use when it comes to getting testimonials from those that have benefited from your projects or your programs, okay? So another thing is, have you been previously awarded any grant funding, and did you manage or did your organization manage those monies or funds well? How effective were you at managing that amount of money? They are really concerned and want to know, do you know what you're going to do with it? How you're going to manage it? Are you going to be dipping in it? We hear these stories all the time in the news about people that misappropriated funds. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. So you don't want to be one of those. So one thing that I suggest to my clients is that they have an external source do an audit for them. All right. It's great that you keep up with it, your CPA keeps up with it or whoever, but it's also good to have, some type of outside source. And most times your CPA would serve for that purpose. But if if you're going to be getting in the money in the thousands and on up, when it comes to funding, you need to look at a reputable organization that can do auditing for you at least once a year so that you can be able to report on that, because those are some of the things the board needs to report on, and it should most times be public knowledge of how your organization is doing financially. So an audit, we hate that word. That's one of them A words we don't like, right? But anyway, it is a good thing when you are applying for funding. So go ahead and get that audit. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Get her done. I'm telling you, you can't do any harm but good. All right. So those are some of the things that they also look for when it's talking about accomplishments. All right. So also, I mentioned before, what has your board of directors been doing if your organization is a young one, if you're very new? Have they been active in the community? What type of things are you all involved in now to kind of get your brand out there, to get involved and find out from other stakeholders what the needs are and how you can better serve those that you want to serve in your organization. Okay. So another thing here I wanted to talk about, I want to make sure that I cover everything today, is to talk about your goals. I don't know how in the world that slipped. You definitely got to be able to tell them how you have accomplished and completed your planning goals, your program goals, and talk a little bit about that and what that looks like, okay? Awesome stuff. I'm hoping that you all have benefited from that. And of course, as always, I want to share at least one grant that I've come across recently, and this particular one. And always remember, I don't always just share information for businesses and organizations, but also for individuals. So this particular one is for the Food and Agriculture Service Learning Program. So it says it is for grants to USA IHE, which stands for Institutions of Higher Education, agencies, nonprofits, for-profits, and individuals to enhance children's nutritional health and agricultural education. I love this one. So this one has a deadline of December 15th, 2022. And the goal of the program is to build capacity for nutrition, garden, and food education within host organizations or entities such as school cafeterias and classrooms, while fostering higher levels of community involvement or engagement between farms and school systems. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a part of a school system, but again, you remember I always talk about there's opportunities for you to work with other organizations in your community, and this is one of those. So let's say that you provide, I don't know, part of the health, the nutritional health part, where maybe the school has a garden. So you can bring the educational piece to it while they have the physical area, or, whatever you're going to be doing, whatever these kids or parents are going to be doing with planting gardens and, putting things out there and learning at the same time. So you can put those elements together. So let's say you have a background in that, and that's what you do. So you could work with a school system. You could work with other community organizations, and that will give you some experience in that area. Okay, so let's see here. Once we can find some web information on this one. All right. It does say that the maximum amount that can be awarded is $225,000, and that's per recipient. And a website where you register here. Oh, here's one that you have to actually register for on grants.gov. And I'm sure it's because it's probably put out by the Department of Agriculture, probably. Don't know, haven't looked into it in depth, but you have to register and have a profile with grants.gov. And let's see, you would just, go in their search bar and put in Food and Agriculture Service Learning Program. And I'm sure if you don't have the grant number, because they assign grant numbers on grants.gov. So if you don't have that number, you can probably do a search for that, put in some of this criteria to be able to find it and apply. Okay, well, it's time for me to go. This is AnitaN The Biz Coach, coming to you with valuable information all the time, baby. Look, you can find me on social media at AnitaN The Biz Coach, and that is BIZ Biz Coach, and that is on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So I look forward to the next time. You guys enjoy. Take care.